ladies and gentlemen, welcome to it.
Good morning to the folks. What up to the youngins and bless up to the world.
And then Jay just put your info on blast like that.
It's what the people want to know, bro. My bad.
Nah, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to It Is The Morning Shake with me, your host, Evan, and of course, my co-host, Mr. J. Paris. Mr. Paris, how was the weekend, my brother?
What's happening? What's happening? Good morning to the folks. What up to the youngins and bless up to the world. It's your boy, J. Paris, and we coming to you live on this beautiful Monday morning from Johannesburg, South Africa. It's the Inside Show, and we so happy, broski.
It's
the
gonna
weekend
be
was dope. The weekend was good, and it's Monday, and we're looking forward to a fantastic, amazing, blessed week ahead. You know, new grace, new blessings, new mercy, new juice, new vibes. It's lit. God is doing it. It's about to happen. Let's go. We out here. Yeah.
Let's do it. So the weekend was bittersweet. Of course, we had the funeral of one of our icons out here in SA, Mr. Kieran Forbes. And so yeah, man, it was a little bit of a sad weekend because I was out there watching the whole story unfold, and watching Friday night that memorial, and just what different people were saying about everything that was going on. And of course, last week we covered a lot about the show, and this week we're just gonna round it off a little bit. But of course, we have some guests in the studio. You saw her last week on the Wednesday warm up with Lee. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Michaela Hansen. Yeah.
Hi.
Just that?
Yeah.
Is that now your greeting? Hi.
That's my greeting. Hi.
Introduce yourself. Who are you? Where you from? What do you do?
I work
What's
on
your life
business.
like? What's your life like in the next 5 years?
So 5 year
Very deep
goal.
question.
5 year goal.
Early in the morning.
Nah, I'm chirping, man. I'm chirping.
But they know me. They already watched me last week. It's fine.
I'm chirping. Yeah, broski.
Alright, and so then of course, ladies and gentlemen, he's no stranger to the show. We've had him on our show before. Mr. Producer. Mr. Producer is out here making some movies, out here making some stuff happen, and there's something coming up for you guys. It's gonna be absolutely insane, ladies and gentlemen. Please help me welcome my guest, Mr. Rikwa, the last of Rikwa.
My man, so thanks for having me, guys.
Nah, thanks for coming through, my brother. So I hit him up. I'm like, yo, bro, because you're like, we're supposed to meet.
I was sleeping.
Yeah, we're supposed to meet last week. We're supposed to meet, and since December, it's just been he's been busy. I've been away, and then we're like, nah, let's lock it in for today.
This thing, man. Let's lock the big
ladies.
And the big thing that's coming.
Let's lock it in. So I told him, nah, I'm gonna pull through for the show.
Oh, the news is not out as yet, bro.
No.
And I was about to like speak on this mic
nobody
now, bro.
knows. We want to at least give it some nice time,
Yeah, we want it to be
special. It's something that's kind of big, especially for our people. You know what I'm saying? So it's huge, man. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be big. We don't wanna let anything out now. And we want to give it enough time, like, you know what I'm saying, for advertising,
marketing,
for
build
promotion.
excitement,
Want to do it properly.
Yeah, and I see you repping that ND today, bro.
Of course, man. Gotta stay.
Yeah, shout out to the homie. Shout out to the homie.
Doggers.
Now, of course, he's also been on our show multiple times, obviously showing his drip and all that. So, shout out to the homie. Big shout out to the homie. So, yeah, man. And then, of course, in the comment section, Jay, jump in there, please, my brother.
I think you'd probably want to hop into this one. Special out.
Special shout out.
Who's that? Now you can read the comment.
So then, we got. Go for it, Jay.
Now, what's up, Luca? Saying good morning from Namibia. Wishing everyone a blessed Monday. Appreciate it, broski. Appreciate it.
Thanks, my
in
brother.
The house. You must be Namibian, bro.
Yeah, half.
Partially.
Yeah.
Half Namibian, half
By
South
association.
African. By association.
Would you ever go
by
stay
marriage.
There? Would you ever go stay there?
I wouldn't say no. It's a dope place.
Especially, was a bit. Why?
It's obviously smaller. The vibe is different. But I mean, not smaller in land
listening,
mass,
bro. So you gotta count your words,
bro.
Nah,
not smaller. Even if my wife is listening, bro. Not smaller in land mass, but I mean, like just that population, that hustle, that grind. The opportunity is less than it is here. But of course, it depends on what you're going there for. It depends on what kind of opportunity you're looking for. Perhaps you can spot an opportunity that's not there, and then implement it because maybe it's not there yet. But it's not something I would say completely like. No. something that I'll be okay with if push comes
We don't
to
know
shove.
much about Namibia though. I don't think they expose themselves that much to South Africans.
Yeah, they're a bit quiet, but a lot of the
Exactly.
SADC,
They are a bit
I
quiet.
can't agree with that, guys. Y'all abused us in apartheid and stuff, please.
Ooh, that-
Y'all wanted to make us a fifth province at that time. By correction, Lee told me y'all have.
I feel like
9
Namibia
provinces
should be
right
a
now.
province of South Africa.
you see now.
I
No.
feel like
We're gonna
No.
start beef.
Yeah.
No.
Start deep. Ladies and gentlemen,
Joking.
let's get into it. The memorial on Friday night, gents. I was out here crying, man. I was emotional and I was like
For real?
feeling some type of way. Now, I wasn't crying, like actual crying, but I was like watching it, like, and my heart was sore, man. I was emotional. I was feeling like, yo. I mean, it was still unreal to me. Last week, Saturday, it was my birthday. I woke up, lekker, getting excited and everything. Switch on the TV, bah.
I saw a lot of colors saying this hits differently. I saw a lot of them, and I was thinking to myself like, why is it? Is it just because he's a colored? You know, because AK never did any African songs. He never he was not like early B. You know what I'm saying? If you know early B
Yeah.
is colored to the core.
And
Even
youngster.
his music is to the core.
Oh, youngsters,
they
he put it-
rap,
Like
they
rapping
rap,
hard.
they rap color to the core. You know what I'm saying? Is it just because people want to feel like in part of the
Yeah.
cloud? You know, everyone is like, I feel a type of way. I feel a type of way. Is it just because it's colored, or was there a connection, or was it because you went to his shows, or you were listening to all of his music? What is the
Nah,
reason?
I
What's
think
the
there
thi-
was a connection because I agree with you, and I also felt that way. I didn't want to post it or say anything because I also didn't want to be like, now all of a sudden the guy's dead. Now you want to post about it or whatever. But when to the people I was speaking to personally and privately, I was like, yo, bruh, for some reason my heart is sore, man. Like, full,
Facts, bro.
I feel some type of way about what happened. I think it is that connection, and I think there is an element because he's one of the oldest.
Of
like,
course.
it's like, ish.
And I feel like it doesn't mean he never needed to represent us as like in depth. You know what I'm saying? I think just because it was someone we could relate to, and someone that we could enjoy his music, you know, bigger than him being colored. You know what I'm saying? I feel like his music was in a time where especially for us hip hop cats, it was an opportunity. When he came out and he made it, it was like, shit, one of us made it. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
So it
Yeah.
gives us that vibe.
You
Now,
know,
yo,
But yeah, I feel what you're saying, bro. And I think we were at a braai at Chad's birthday on Saturday, and I was asking like the same thing, like, yo, like, did he do enough for us as brown people? But
yeah.
then the one gent was saying, obviously, the school that he was at, bro.
Saint
Yeah,
John.
Saint one of them, bro.
Saint John's,
Yeah, it was predominantly like black and white, bro. So he was in a time where you had to kind of choose.
yeah,
Like,
he
yo,
didn't really. He didn't really associate. with
Although the fam is from Mitchell's Plain,
Yeah.
and he is big on that, but
Yeah.
but
But he was a broski. He wasn't a bra.
But at the end of the day,
he was
nah.
a bro. He wasn't a bra.
he was a
You
bro.
know what I'm saying? He was a bro.
But Jens, I
He
want to
was a
ask, man.
bro.
I want to ask you. One thing that stood out for me when I was watching that memorial on Friday night was a lot of the gents that were speaking were speaking about like this last year, how we started changing and how we
That's
became
dope.
more like chilled and how we started like saying even before the shows. And the one particular friend of his that came up and did, which by the way, shout out to all the gents that came up and did speeches, bro. Their speeches were
On
were
point.
fire. Their
point.
speeches were
Yeah.
fire, bro. They
Point.
spoke sense.
Yeah.
They spoke like,
Facts.
facts. They spoke nicely. They
Yeah.
articulated his life clean.
Yeah.
It wasn't cringy. It wasn't like
Yeah.
what's
The whole
this guy
setup
talking?
was
The whole
nice and
setup
clean,
was
bro.
nice and clean. And all his friends that came out and spoke, they sounded prepared. They sounded like
Yeah.
they knew, okay, this is what I'm gonna say. This is how I
Yeah,
want
they
to
went
come
on
across.
point. I
Yeah.
think Auntie Lynn was the only one that she spoke like you could see she's that kind of person that would just speak something. You know what I'm saying? She didn't come prepared. Like everyone was like on point. And then she came and she was
which is cool. Though. I
which
mean,
is-
at the end of
which
the day,
is
it's
cool,
moms.
which is
Moms
cool,
is
you
going
know,
through a
you know,
lot.
everyone came like on point,
it's
on
like-
time, and she's just like, this my child, and this one is my child, and you know what I'm saying, and then
I was a little bit like, ish. I was
you-
hoping
you-
she doesn't say anything like
you know what I'm
embarrassing.
saying? You could see she was just free flowing.
Yeah,
with
she
it.
was. Yeah.
She was just.
She even said, "I put the phone away. Let me just talk."
You get what I'm saying? I feel like her speech was literally she just went from the heart. You
Yeah.
know, where everyone was like, yo, we're gonna say this, we're gonna represent Keenan as how Keenan would love us. If Keenan saw them, you would be like, yo, check. And if you saw his mom, you'd be like, you know when your mom goes on stage, you're hoping she doesn't say something.
Even me, bro, I was sitting there, I'm like, hey, auntie, don't say something embarrassing.
She just pushed the one girl away.
Hey.
I was like, oh. She's like,
Did you
go
see
away,
that?
go
I
away,
saw that,
go
but it
away.
was like, I won't lie, ne. If I was there, my mom did that to me, I'd catch feelings, bro.
No, but it's the brother's girlfriend, ne?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not the daughter.
Nah, it's the brother's girlfriend.
That makes sense. It's fine.
And the brother was like trying to grab her the whole time, like,
Kom maar
"It's
terug.
not my ma. You know, it's not my ma.
Yeah,
But then she
like, don't take it
Yeah, but
personally.
then
Yeah.
afterwards she did bring her back and she just went, her own way.
But one thing that stood out for me when the gents were speaking about his walk with Christ.
Yeah.
Another thing that stood out for me was when Cabello spoke, which
Hey,
we know
come on
Cabello.
now.
Actually, I need to
Yeah.
get Cabello onto the show. But when Cabello spoke about how the homie started coming to a home cell,
Yeah.
how the homie
Yeah.
started wanting to come to counseling and sort out himself, and I think after obviously his previous relationship turned out the way it did.
Yeah.
With Anele, obviously the whole situation that happened there,
Yeah.
like, it was a
Maybe
lot of
sparked it.
speculation. Yeah, I think that hit him to a place where I was like, "Ish, I need to sort myself out here, bro. I can't just
Yeah.
be all over the place. I need to find out what's my purpose here. What am I doing with, especially my spiritual journey, over and above my commercial journey is working. People know me.
Yeah.
When I put out an album, people vibe.
Yeah.
But what about me and my spiritual journey? And that for me was a concern. I found one of the gents in the industry that knows him, and I asked him, bruh, this man, was he saved? What was his
Yeah.
relationship with Christ? You
How
know the
was it
homie.
like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the homie.
Yeah.
You spend time with the homie personally. He's like, yeah, look, he hasn't seen him in a while since after that Anelis thing. So he doesn't know since then. But obviously since then is when the change came.
Yeah.
Since then is where he
But
started
do you,
going
do you
to
feel
church.
do you feel he did a 360, especially with this new music coming out?
I think he did, and they even said
but
he wanted to collab with Joyous Celebration.
Yeah, on,
Jump in there, bro.
on the next project's coming up, but obviously the project is coming out on Friday, bro. So we still
But-
yet
but
to
the
see
songs
the
that
but the songs that's out as
Yeah.
yet. It's feel good music,
It's still good
but
music, but it doesn't say he did a 360 though.
yeah,
Nah,
because
it
I
doesn't
know
be
the
honest.
song on Friday that came out, Company. It speaks about like one girl not enough for me, two girls. Maybe there's a
maybe
story
he was
behind that.
yeah,
but
yeah, maybe he was speaking in a sense of like a challenge of his life with women. Because remember, he's been with a couple of ladies.
Bruh, if
But-
you look
but
at
have
it in
you-
that
but
way, that
maybe,
actually
yeah.
sounds...
maybe it could be in a sense of like, yo, God, like it's just difficult. Like,
yeah.
like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really
like-
not enough.
That
Fact.
could be
But
Maybe
true.
there could be a deeper
if
meaning.
if you look at that, and we spoke about it offset. If you look at the promo or the trailer rather
Yeah.
of the album coming up, bro, that thing is deep.
thing is
bro.
fire.
Yeah.
That thing is fire.
That thing was like he knew he was gonna die.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were
But-
speaking about that. Like, does the spirit know within you? Like, yo,
Because it's the first time. Apparently, it's the first time ever AKA's project was done in a
So
month.
ahead of time, yeah. I heard him
Because
saying
normally this guy would submit like a song or 2 songs at the end.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Like
when the
2-3
thing comes out
days-
tomorrow,
2
they-
days of distribution, the guy would be releasing music, like, you know what I'm saying, on the last, bro.
jump in there, Mickey.
So-
What were you gonna say?
It's like, you know what I find funny? No disrespect. It's like when people try to find reasons as to, okay, no, but he did this. Or
Yeah,
like, he did this, he did this. It's a sign of like he knew. Maybe the guy didn't know. He was just predicting it subconsciously.
Nah, but a lot of that happens even with Park and all that, where they start making songs that sounds like, hey, bruh, it's
Yeah,
like
they
you know
change.
you're gonna die. Like, yeah.
Maybe
Okay,
they don't
fair
know.
enough, ne? But if they didn't die, would you still have that mindset?
No.
Yeah,
Probably
that's
not.
what I'm saying.
You
we wouldn't
wouldn't.
have that mindset, but we were
maybe
gonna
it's
have the
God.
mindset.
Maybe
We
it's
were gonna
God.
have the mindset of like, oh, this homie
Yeah.
is now changing,
Yeah.
though, because
Yeah.
That makes sense because just to be like, no, I feel like he was kind of saying his goodbyes already. You didn't know that unless he didn't
Nobody
die.
knows.
now
Yeah.
not that he knows, but at the end of the day, I think
God was giving
everything
him, God
is
was guiding him there.
predestined.
But I
bro.
mean, putting out a video of like your history and things, and then they literally play that at your funeral as if it was made for the funeral.
And it was the first of all his projects.
He's
it was
ne-
the
yeah, he's
first.
never made a trailer
that's what
like
makes
this.
That's what makes it feel so mystical.
It makes it
you know?
And,
creepy,
he,
yeah.
and in, the in the
Mystical.
trailer, he speaks about legacy and so forth. On like, yo,
The guy even
I'm
went
doing
on
this and
holiday.
I've done this
Another
because I
factor,
wanna.
another factor is the guy went on holiday. Like the guy went
What
on,
it was-
like he took his family to Sun City.
Oh, the sunset.
He took his family to Sun City, and then he took his woman afterwards.
It was as it
They
was
went
like
to
the-
America. You know what I'm saying? Just to finalize a couple of things. But it was like, the guy was like, "Woosah." You know what I'm saying?
So that, but I'm happy when I heard the gents doing his speeches saying that he changed so much to the point where he wanted to pray before they went on stage.
That's dope.
He changed so much to the
That's
point
dope.
where he started going to home cell, where he started. Then I was like,
That's
okay, at least. And even in some of his podcasts, he was saying like, nah, as a Christian man, I don't feel like this is
Yeah,
right, blah, blah,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Then I was like, okay,
was
you can
changing.
hear that the gent
The guy
is
is
like working on,
evolving.
yeah, you
He's
can
evolving.
hear it in his,
He's evolving.
because bro, you can hear someone where they are, the way they
Yeah.
speak, the way they
Yeah.
answer questions, and you could hear the way he was starting to answer, like, nah, as a Christian, I think this and that. I was like, okay. Because normally he wouldn't have said that, bro. You'd have just, swear and whatever. But now he's starting really.
And remember, Kanye West was a big input in his life. Like, he used to glorify,
Idolize him. Yeah.
idolize Kanye West. So with Kanye West's transformation also, you know what I'm saying, last
you think
year,
it could have had an
yeah,
influence on him?
Definitely.
Gents, what do you think about the tombstone? Did you guys see the tombstone?
Yeah,
Looks
bro.
fresh.
At first sight, like the tombstone.
That's okay, though.
It's
That's okay.
It's beautiful for what it's worth, bro. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. But at first sight, we were speaking about it last night. At first sight, I was like, hey, it looks like first and foremost, it looks like it's just in a random spot.
Yeah.
But
And-
apparently that's a spot where
Apparently
people
there's
are,
important
with the
people,
celebrities get
celebrities,
buried in
yeah.
that spot.
Yeah, but it's
Government
just like-
and celebrities.
Broski, jump in the comments there real quick. I see Nate is there.
Yeah, we have Joan on saying, good morning, my people. Hope everyone is well and blessed. And we have Nathan again. Hey, Jen, sorry I'm late, man. Was busy with washing. Where Rikwa? And then he says, did you guys notice that his album cover has a lot of links to his death? Ooh, let's
Yeah,
check
there was
that
a
out,
skull.
bro.
There was a skull. I actually, you know what? Andy Mineo, remember Andy Mineo? He also released a cover. Do you guys see the similarities of Andy Mineo's cover? With the
Yeah,
skull,
it's just saying
with the, and it's also that animated vibes.
But that's an old cover of Andy Mineo. I
Yeah, that's
remember
what I'm
that one.
saying. It's an
Yeah.
old cover, but it has similarities.
Similar characteristics. I hear you.
With a skull here, and then there's a snake. Oh yeah, apparently, guess what happened with the cover? So with the cover, he wanted to cover the culture of South
Yeah, I
Africa.
heard them
So
explaining
I want
it.
to cover the culture of South Africa.
With a kush
With the Karoo.
and the BM.
With the BM of Joburg. You know, and then the snake represents like people that backstabbed him. You know what I'm saying? So it have different elements of the provinces of South Africa.
But back to the tombstone. What were you gonna say there, bro, about the tombstone?
Yeah, I think it could have been a lot like bigger, bro.
Yeah.
You wanted to be like Sisulu's
Yeah,
tombstone.
Yeah, a lot bigger with the whole.
Het je Sisulu's tombstone gezien?
It's yeah.
That
it's
big one where
huge,
it's like
bruh.
built a wall
Looks like-
around it with a big like thing there with his picture on and everything.
Yeah.
What I found fun is that it was put on immediately. Usually you only do the tombstone a year
Afterwards.
after a year
Yeah.
anniversary. That's what I found funny. Secondly, why do you guys like idolizing people in death also? The tombstone is it's small, it's intimate.
I guess we
It's
wanted.
meaningful.
I guess we wanted to see like
A super
AKA
mega tombstone.
Why?
a representative
A
of his
super
life.
mega tombstone.
You know?
Exactly, but that's what I'm
As-
saying. Like
as
what the guy's done
Everything,
and
everything of Super Mega was
Was
crazy.
big.
His life was
super.
crazy. His death was crazy. So we were expecting his tombstone to be crazy too.
Okay, but if we were to make it biblical, God literally says in the Bible, let the dead bury the dead.
Of
So
course.
let it go, bruh.
No, we get that. We get that. We understand. From Christian aspect, we understand that. But from what we've been accustomed to, the AKA legacy, you know what I'm saying?
People
You
who
listen
expect.
to me?
We're speaking about what people are, just random thoughts.
Yeah.
Do you wanna?
What
You
people
guys
might
wanna have a photo shoot at his tombstone or what?
Not even a phone to stum. I was expecting like at least something representing his music.
Okay, what were you expecting when you like that?
A statue.
Man said tombstone was statue, man.
I was expecting him with the
mic
and
so-
statue. Doing that. Yeah.
the shoulder.
Doing the shoulder. Yeah.
I don't know. I actually quite liked it. I liked how
Simplicity.
it was simple and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
If it's pretty, Let me say it's a pretty tombstone, and it's pretty expensive also probably.
That he pushed Anele off out of the window, and that he's responsible for the death. So there's a lot of people now saying, why are we celebrating?
What if he was sacrificing?
You see now, you see now.
Right now, bro.
I'm joking, guys.
Illuminati
Let me not
vibes.
get deep. This is not a deep show.
And apparently now there's like statements and allegations coming out from the family.
But
and
the father is determined, dog.
Whose father?
Even at the funeral, this lady's father, at the funeral.
Anele's father. At whose funeral?
No, that was at her funeral.
At her funeral, he was like saying that
She didn't kill
wouldn't
us.
do it. Now, imagine you sitting there, aka, and the father's like, no, we know her. She wouldn't have killed herself. So if she didn't kill herself, then who did? You know what I'm saying?
No, but he spoke about that in that interview where he's like, so by him saying that and me sitting there, obviously he's now saying, leave us more, I know. That's
Yeah, but
technically
also
what he said,
now,
yeah.
bro, they coming out saying there was no evidence of fingerprints on the balcony, and obviously if there's no evidence of fingerprints on the balcony, and apparently he had scratches on, over his right shoulder where he held her. So how did she jump if?
Yeah,
if
how
there's
possible? How is it possible that she jumped?
I don't know. But now it brings us to the
Just, the
conversation
legacy side
of
of
legacy. Yeah, it's like does your legacy still stand after allegations? Whether the allegations have been proven true or not. And we speak even about like the conversation we had on Saturday, like footballers had to get like allegations of rape, or like even Tupac
But
that
do
was
their
alleged
achievements-
rape,
do their
and then
achievements-
people have idolized them.
Yeah.
And then some people detract from that because it's like, yeah, how can you idolize a murderer? How can you idolize a rapist? So it makes it tricky because if you look at someone like O.J. Simpson, bro, where everyone knows this guy, he's definitely guilty. Like, I don't know if you know the story about O.J. Simpson where they also found that his ex-wife or his ex-girlfriend or something was like murdered in the house with her friend. And then they found the blood, they found a glove.
A glove doesn't fit.
That fits him perfectly. And then he still said, nah, it wasn't me.
And he got away with it.
And he got away with it. But the masses still believe, like 100% of people like, bro, how did he get
That
away
was
with this? This was him.
they were creating a race thing with that one. With that one, it was more race thing. It was more like.
But the fact is, it was
black.
him though.
Because the lady was white.
Yeah.
Being killed, and he is black.
Yeah.
And it was more based on
It was becoming a racial
They
argument.
used-
It became a racial argument.
became a
because
racial
if
argument.
you check at the poster that they were using in the Times, they made him look very vicious and
Yeah.
villain-like. So it's the same thing that they're trying to do here with AK. Also, you guys were talking about, did he represent the colors? Does music necessarily have to represent the race?
That's a deep one. I feel like if it can help the race become better, I feel like it's important.
So if
I feel like
I,
it's important.
as a colored, go sing about flowers and daisies, I need to make it a political thing. By
Now, I
representing
think
my
I
race.
think the history of it, which is go back to on last week's conversation, the history of the country is of such that there's no representation and certain groups get marginalized, so that when someone does come up and represents, like in inverted commas, your people on that level of excellence and achievement, people want to have an affinity to it or be associated with the that's one of the colored.
But
ones,
yeah,
and
you're
look how
obviously
he's
inspired
doing
by
well
it,
and things,
bro.
you see. So, and that
But
is a
is it
conversation
enough,
that
though?
people were having.
Is you being there? Is it enough? Because if someone in our
What do you mean, bro? Like, is it enough?
like just being an inspiration, I feel like yes, he's inspiration right there.
Do you
for
want him to do
everyone.
more?
For the people, especially when they shot this boy with autism,
Nathaniel Julius.
Lieutenant Julius,
Yeah.
someone that could speak up, because the
But
guys
do-
from Durban were not gonna speak up.
But do you know that he paid for
He
a funeral
paid,
and things?
Yes,
Mm.
no, I get he financially
Yeah.
did help out.
But you saying he was supposed to say something.
Yeah, like you have the power, and you see your people because they are your people.
To shine a spotlight on that.
They are your people, right? You know what I'm saying? To say something, but you not saying anything means it's also like saying something. you
Okay,
know?
but fair enough. Let's turn the perspective to, did the colored community support AKA
Hardcore.
as much as the black community did?
I just like pre-ordered his album already.
That's you, bruh.
Is that
You
support?
as an individual. I
Is
mean
that
the
support?
community.
Did you pre-order it as yet, bro?
I don't have iTunes anymore, bro. But I'm
Nah, so
definitely
I
gonna-
also pre-ordered this
I'm
project.
waiting.
I also did. You know,
I got
I stopped
levels.
paying
I
my
got
iTunes
levels.
in
I
a
got
month
touch
for a
my
long
blood.
time.
Okay,
So that's the thing, bro. It becomes a tricky
careful what you
conversation.
wish for.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
becomes a tricky conversation
Yeah.
when you speak about race. But the truth is, the climate of the South African culture is of such that people are looking for a representative of their culture,
Yeah.
and which he's not going to be the best representative of a colored culture, because number one, he's not from any of the colored communities
Yeah.
in Joburg
Yeah.
per se.
True that.
When he grew up in a white area, he went to white schools.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any colored friends at all.
Of course, on his
At
brother.
all.
Yeah, at all.
At all. Like nobody at all.
Yeah, we've discovered this past weekend that.
So
The
does
lens.
he really know? Does he really understand the culture? Does he know the culture? I say no, he doesn't. And he wouldn't, because he didn't spend time
Of
in the
course, that
communities. He
makes
doesn't
sense.
know anything about
That
the
makes
community.
sense.
So it
So
makes
he
sense
can't-
as
he
to
can't
why
feel your pain.
he can't.
He can't feel your pain.
As much as he's colored, he's technically colored.
Yeah.
Technically, if you really want to be technical, Trevor Noah is colored.
Yeah.
If you want to be technical for the definition of white father, black mother, you are colored.
Yeah.
But now we know there's a difference between being a colored and the culture
Yeah.
of what something comes with.
Yeah.
There's a culture that comes with Elros, Reveille,
Yeah.
Western.
But then what was
Regenpark.
what
There's a
was he,
certain
what was he
culture.
supposed to do though?
Who? AK?
Keenan, yeah, what was he supposed to do to just solidify that? Like, nah, he's standing up for.
I
our
think what
people?
you were saying is you
What
should have
was
said
he
something.
supposed to do?
I feel like
I think
especially with the
just
uproars- I feel especially with the uproars that happened, especially in El Dorado Park. You know what I'm saying? Just to
But
say,
what he
I
did for
sympathize.
Nathaniel and so forth on.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
wow.
publicly.
Yeah, I did that privately.
That's privately. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, who am I to say what? You know what I'm saying? I'm just,
Nah,
you
but I
know,
hear what you're saying, definitely.
put a post out there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe he did. Maybe he did put a post out of.
I know he contributed. That I know for a fact.
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely
yeah.
know he contributed. Hopping there on some of the comments there, Jay.
Yeah. So Oral Constance was saying that's a Neverland album cover, and then Michaela Andrews saying, "I'm hoping it's a temporary tombstone."
With a laughing emoji.
Yeah, and then Super D says, "Yeah, true. He doesn't understand." I'm guessing that's who.
To
just
the culture.
yeah,
So
colour culture.
But now we start to look at these things, and so when you have these conversations, and that's why it's foreign to you, because you don't understand the climate of race in South Africa. The climate is hectic, bro. We have situations where people are fighting in a KFC because the woman that's serving is black and the woman that's asking is colored.
But my bad, bro.
You see-
Before you go on there, but then what about people like Benny and Stephen Pienaar and so forth on?
But
That conversation can also be-
What about them?
Pinar did show.
But isn't like just what you produce and your talent already like, yo, do you have to outrightly say?
Yeah,
they
because
were
your people
they were
need it.
they were footballers.
We need it. There's a kid there that needs.
But now
that.
with Benny in England, in Manchester, we still
we're
we
inspired
still
by it.
inspired
We're
by it.
inspired
But what
by it.
more
But
do
there's
you
a-
want him to do?
but-
Do you
but
want him
there's- But
to?
there's kids there. There's kids there that okay, let me say this.
Okay, but Stevie P does have, my bad, bro.
He does have
He
a
does have the
tournament.
tournament.
Yeah, he is. He comes and he makes sure that the youngsters will get to the next level. You know what I'm saying? He's tangible. He's physically there. You know what I'm saying?
Are we saying there is a responsibility on someone
There
that comes
is.
out of a community
There is,
to come back?
100%.
Because if you look at what
100%.
Akon did, bro.
Yeah.
Akon goes A-list, he goes global, he becomes the superstar in
He goes to
America.
Senegal.
Yeah.
He comes back to Senegal, he builds houses, he builds roads, he
Yeah.
puts.
Yeah, same
He
thing with
lights up
Sadio
the-
Mane.
Sadio
Sadio
Mane.
Mane, that's
Yeah.
a international footballer, bro.
Because if you don't,
What he
who's
does
going
for
to?
Senegal.
Didn't
as well.
You get what I'm
didn't that other the guy from Egypt,
Mo Salah.
Mo
Salah.
Salah?
Yeah, he's the Egyptian
It's
king.
Egyptian.
But I mean, does he go back and
Definitely. He's
Definitely,
hardcore
bro.
Al Ali. He even represents Al Ali when he's out there. When Al Ali was playing, he's like, yo, Al Ali, go for it. You got this.
Most
You know what I'm
definitely. And if they
He's hardcore, you know.
So are we saying there is a responsibility on someone that makes it
Definitely.
to shine some sort of spotlight, especially on a plight? as far as like if there's a community that's going through something. But the thing is then, what kind of responsibility do we put solely because, going back to your first question, solely because he's colored?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he doesn't have any affiliation with elders at all, or brown people at all, outside of his parents.
Yeah, like you say, it's a tricky one. Like,
So how do you put that responsibility on him? Hey, you colored, you must represent us when you go there. You see, it becomes tricky.
but I feel
Still
like,
colored,
I
bro.
feel like
At the end of the day.
I feel like because who is going to do it? You get what I'm saying? Who is going to say
But for me personally, bro, I just feel like be inspired and use that inspiration to do what you gotta do.
But there's youngsters
now,
out
but
there
don't-
that don't have social media. There's families out
if
there
you
that
don't-
don't have those kind of things there, that need someone to come back to the community so they can see that it's possible.
I hear
know?
you.
Not everyone has the internet. Not everyone has.
Are you saying that we should have done a show there in a Extension 3 park, a free show?
It's not even about the show, man. I feel like
No, but I mean for that to say, because
Yeah.
terug in die kassie, laat ek
Yeah.
iets slaan vir die ouens.
I feel
vir die
like
laities.
be more, especially with the struggles that the people are going through. Be more like a part of what they are going through. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do this. We take youngsters CPT, we take AKA.
Look at youngsters.
Compare.
Youngsters.
'Cause I know you
youngsters
know
in
that.
Aldo's. Youngsters in Aldo's
Yeah.
whenever he's around in Joburg, he comes to Aldo's. You know, he's very physically in Aldo's. Even if he's by the flats or whatever, he comes through. You know what I'm saying? He's always representing. He even talks about Aldo's in his music. You know what I'm saying? He's adamant that he wants to make sure his people go somewhere. You know?
Yeah, but we also can't now take it away. I hear what you're saying and big up to Young. So we can't also take it away from Super Mega. Because if there was anyone that repped South Africa as a whole,
Yeah.
it's Super Mega. At all his performances.
And I'm not taking anything
All
away
his
from him.
performances, it was the South African flag. When he would go abroad, he rep South African flag and so forth.
No,
So,
definitely.
as a whole,
Definitely.
Super Mega
Of course,
is,
he's
is
amazing.
that guy.
I love Super Mega.
Like,
though.
He's
to
that
a certain
guy.
degree, I understand what you're saying, but then also you can't put that much responsibility on one person. You need to also keep in mind that AKA was an individual. He had his own mindset. He had his own life. The choices that he made was probably for his best interest. So, for us to sit here and be like, he should have done this and this and this, that does not give us. We don't have that right to say that. He did make those decisions based on what he felt, and we need to respect that at the end of the day.
No, definitely.
And the truth is, if he did that for Nathaniel and the funeral and so forth on, we don't know how much more.
He could have
Because
done.
if you do
No, he
want to
did
go,
do
if you
more.
do want to
It
go
came out
public
afterwards that
now,
he did a lot.
I'm not
you don't
going
need to.
public,
No, I'm just saying based on your previous.
because
comments,
my
but
agenda
because
is
you don't-
more. My
you-
agenda was more on the fact that all colors are feeling a type of way.
Do you think that, or did you hear conversations like?
No, I heard it, and you
Oh
can
wow,
also see
okay,
on,
let's
on
feeling a
internet.
type of way though, bro. Like, I see a lot more love and respect towards him, bro, than people feeling some type of way. And the thing is,
I understand both sides of the
Because
Yeah, of the
because
coin, yeah.
because
And the thing is,
because,
and the thing is,
because now people
because
find people find
we
a
we,
type
whoa,
of
whoa,
way.
we went back to let's go back to the question: did colored people support him? Because if colored
That's my
people didn't
thing.
support
That's
him,
my
bro,
thing.
now that the guy passes away, we
Everyone-
can't now turn around and be like,
Yeah,
he didn't
aina,
rep,
there's a
he did
aina,
it, yeah,
you know what I'm
and he
saying?
didn't
Okay,
rep.
I think like Xavier said, I probably don't understand because I'm not from here. However, in Namibia, he was very supported and very loved by the colored community, especially. However, where you guys were like the conversation, like that thing that Zex was saying now, how black and colored people fight. That side, it does happen because colored people do think they're superior to black people. However, they do feel like they're inferior to white people. But oftentimes you will see, I'm like a AKA. I just have black friends and some colored friends also. But it's who I feel comfortable with. And I spoke about this on the Wednesday show. It's who I feel comfortable with and who supports me and who I feel natural around. If I come to a colored community with a different mindset to them, they will attack me because then they feel like I'm not supporting them. However, they're not willing and open to a different experience, to a different perspective. There's all of those types of things that you also need to keep in mind.
Yeah, I feel like the thing is like what Jay said, like the people that feel the type of way, is it because you were at the shows, you bought this music, you were supporting him, or is it because it's a popular thing to do right now? Everyone currently is now, AKA phoned me just the day before he died. There was this guy from Drip. He's like, AKA, I had a conversation with AKA like just before he died. We were supposed to have a show. I'm like, oh, okay. Like everybody all of a sudden was speaking to AKA on his before he died. Or everyone now is like,
That story of ek het haar gister gesien. Ai shame. Sy het net hier verby geloop. You know that
you
story.
know what I'm saying?
Yesterday om te dink. I know that.
I also have a question. So, Mr. Elton Bake says here, if he spoke publicly about Nathaniel Gillies, there would have been a better response to a lot of things. Okay, what
He
if
never
AKA,
spoke about it.
What if AKA
He
never
funded.
wanted people
But that's
to
what I'm
know?
saying.
funded.
If you wanna,
I know he
He
funded
never
it.
spoken.
Yeah.
but
He never
that's the
said
thing.
this
If
is
you want to
wrong.
go like biblical, you don't need to speak about these things. I cashed out 100K and I did this and so forth on.
Nah, he's not saying to
I'm not
say that I
saying,
spent
I'm saying
money.
to say against, to stand against what's happening.
Against
what's
police
happening.
brutality.
No, but he
against the
did
colored
speak
people.
about it. He did speak about it. If you track back to his tweets and so forth on, he was the one guy that was blowing it up. So there I defend Keenan.
Okay, now that's
He
dope.
did speak about it.
Nah,
Nah,
that's
bro,
dope.
don't even get it twisted. I don't
he
think
did.
anyone
He
has
did.
anything against him.
Yeah,
I think
he
we're
did.
just having a
No, based
conversation.
on obviously for what it's worth,
Go-
bro.
go for
Based
it
on
here in the
convo.
comments, bro.
Yeah, let's just track back a little bit to what Alton was saying. There is a responsibility to represent your people. You become a mouthpiece that has influence and that has the ears of the decision makers. He goes on to say, we can trace this back to Moses in the Bible. Born a Hebrew boy, grew up in a palace, lost touch with the people, but God calls him back to be that mouthpiece.
Nice one.
And then he says, love the guy, also sad, but he did not represent the brown people. And then Juan on goes on to say, I would say if someone at least sows back into the community they were born and raised in, get involved in the community somehow, that's enough. Then Michaela Andrews says, he did put a tweet out though, even urging people to donate to the family. And then she goes on to say the Eldorado Park experience wasn't his lived experience though.
I
And
actually
that's what
agree
we were
with
saying.
her.
He doesn't affiliate
Can I
with
be
that in
honest
any
with
way,
you?
shape,
Can
or
I be
form.
honest with you? So I know in the hip hop game, when we came up in the hip hop game, I started with Afrikaans music, and we came up in the hip hop game, and I remember some of the guys like Altido, all these guys, and Slicker them. We were all like in the discussion, and we were like, "Yo, are you sure about this? Rapping Afrikaans and rapping colored people, because firstly, your market doesn't even."
It's too small.
It's too
It's
small, and,
sustainable.
and it's not even their thing. Hip hop wasn't even their thing back then. So I feel like AK knew that. AK knew that if he wanted to go mega, he could not rap
A small
a
minority.
small
like that.
minority. You know what I'm saying? He could not.
but that's-
he could.
yeah.
He could not
That's
be
what I said.
That's what we
Ali
spoke
what I
about
said,
last
South
week.
He could not
Africa
be-
as a whole, bro.
He could
He
not
was
be
the
an
one
Ali
that...
B. You know what I'm saying? He could not be an Ali B or a youngster. He needed to get
To
a
appeal to
bigger
a wider
appeal,
audience.
To get a bigger audience, né? He needed to make music that connects with a bigger audience. Because remember, he's the first guy that didn't have, that didn't do vernac even, and he sold. And he went gold, I think.
Yeah, who went plat without a vernac record?
You get what I'm saying?
Let's
So
talk
he
facts and give me
understood.
some credit.
He understood that if I am going to stand, or if I'm going to be proudly something, I am going to lose
Okay, yes.
money.
But that's
Yeah.
a conversation we had last. That was the question I
So-
asked last week. Do you think
Yeah.
he was
So
strategic
money, yeah, it
with
was
the setting?
strategic.
With what
Of
he
course.
did.
With
Because-
how he played it?
Of
Okay,
course.
okay. You guys said he doesn't have any. Okay, my question is this: did he? You guys said he didn't represent the brown people. Okay, did he represent the black people?
Who did
Definitely.
represent? Yeah,
Okay.
Definitely.
So-
And his
He
music-
represented
his
South
Now
Africa.
my question is
represented
this:
SA.
his features. Does he have an Afrikaans feature?
does it
Yeah,
have to
with
be
Youngster.
Afrikaans? Does it
He
have
has
to
a-
be Afrikaans?
He has a song with Youngster.
Yes.
That's youngster song though.
Yeah, that's youngster
No,
song.
but he's on it. He could
That's-
have. He
yeah.
could have
No,
turned it down.
definitely. But has he ever,
bro, I ain't
has he
playing
ever,
no
has he ever
games.
gone out there and said, you know
Saluta.
what? Has he ever intentionally? He went to KO. He got a feature with KO. He got a feature with a lot of black guys.
But then
Né?
that's
and they're
up to-
rapping in vernac.
Okay, but who was he supposed to?
He's making an interesting
He's
point,
supposed to go.
bruh. He is
You were
making
supposed
a-
to say. You could have seen.
Not the,
He's supposed
we
to
we
go.
found out the
not
Les is
done,
actually, I think he's Twan or something.
Yeah, he's not colored.
he's not
My
colored.
question is this,
The
Liz.
okay?
The Liz.
You like remember like with Black Lives Matter, people like just because you have a black friend does not make you racist. So if AK had a colored friend, you guys would have felt better about the situation or what?
It's not even about a colored friend. It's about being consciously in a
My
country.
But my next
my
question
question
is
is
that-
who
so does
though? Who was he
Afrikaans-
supposed to feature though?
Ali B.
Yes.
Who was he supposed
Ali
to feature?
B.
Yeah,
No.
Ali B still on.
Ali B.
He's still
But
on
that's
the
your
come up. He's
opinion.
not like an A-list.
It's not my
He's
opinion.
not-
It's
he's-
facts.
No, he's not an
It's
A-list.
facts.
He's not
you're
an
saying
A-list, bro.
Afrikaans
Who
was
was he
colored, which
supposed
is
to?
wrong because
Not even.
there's colored people who don't even speak Afrikaans, don't even like the language. So that argument you were using is wrong. How can you argue like that? Oh, hy moet die Afrikaans feature gehad het. Hy wou nie.
Nah, you're supposed to.
He's
you
not
speak
supposed to
I-
do
I-
anything.
But I understand his argument
What?
because he's
Come
saying,
on.
why is he
Come on,
featuring
dog.
KO? Why is he
Come on,
featuring?
dog.
And those
but
are ones
in
that
the
rap.
time,
Because
but in
he
the
want
time, bro,
to.
the industry,
Nah, but
they
what-
were the people.
Bro,
What
who's
times-
making money
I
right
hear
now?
his, I
If
hear
you
his
making
point,
money
bro.
right now.
I hear his
Who
point.
was
He's
supposed to-
featuring a black
if
and was
you
rapping
making-
in their language.
If
he
you
features
making
no
money
color
right
rapping
now,
Afrikaans.
if you making money right
So
now,
Does he have to? That's my
He
question.
he doesn't
So
have
what
to,
is
but
this
also,
check it out.
no, he doesn't have to, and that's the point. That's the point.
What's
Jay
up,
Dot,
dog?
Jay Dot, if you're
What's
making, I'm saying Jay. So if you're making money right now,
Yeah.
nah, you're making money right now. That money you're making, nah, are you going to be like, yo, let me grow businesses in Soweto or let me grow businesses in Eldos? Where are you gonna go with the cash? Be honest.
Bit of both, bro. I am
Yeah.
a businessman. I have J Paris Studios. I've done weddings for people in El Dorado Park, and I've done black weddings for people in Soweto. So,
But where you gonna go
both.
first?
Both, bro.
You gonna go first to Soweto? My question is Soweto. Or
Both,
you gonna
bro.
go first to Eldos?
Both.
You can't
And
put
I'm
that
gonna-
question
but
in
I'm-
black
but
and
I'm-
white. What you're doing there is very wrong. Because as
Both.
Jay,
And
as
I'm-
an individual, being as neutral as he is, he can be like, nah, here's 50, here's 50. Oh, I don't have 50. Here's 10, here's 10. Oh, you also have to look at the
Just a
Soweto need it
question,
more
huh?
than Aldo's. You
Just
need
a
to look
question.
at.
No.
You are trying to make it black and white when it's not black and white.
The truth is both, Brand. We ran the organizer both, but I would stand up more for my people, my colored people. We've done the factory, bro, where most of the people we were catering for was our people.
And it's not even a
Let's
race
be
thing.
real. But
Guys,
it's not even
it's
a
not
race
even
thing,
a race
bro.
thing.
But-
It's not
But you're
even a
making
race
it a
thing.
race
I'm not. Check. In my street, if I live in a street, né, if I come in a street where the person opposite me is suffering.
But you the
né,
one that's
if
making
the
a race
person
thing,
the
bro.
person that's opposite is suffering, I'm first going to make sure that person is fed before I go down the road. That's all I'm saying. Before I go down the road, I'm
So-
first gonna make sure the guys next to me that has been suffering, that I went to school with, I'm first gonna make sure they have shoes on.
Okay, I have a
How am I
question.
gonna go
eh?
outside because it's popular? Now I'm gonna go outside if I know if I take the shoes
Did
to
the-
another place,
But then it goes
it's
back
going
to your
to give
question.
me more.
Did
You
the
get what I'm
did the
saying?
color community support him though?
Yeah.
As much as the black community did.
Because
Did
yeah,
the color community buys his
I don't
music?
honestly. I
Did
don't
the-
think
Let's
so.
check some of the comments there, bro.
I
What
don't
people are saying.
think so.
Let's check where we
I
at.
don't
We were
think
there,
so.
Michaela.
Yeah, so Nikki goes on to say, AKA actually did speak about it, but we, as the color community, didn't pay attention to him because, again, we never supported him in
Yeah,
everything.
I agree with it.
So
I
that's
don't-
what I'm saying. So
but-
maybe he
but-
got to
but
a
it
point
was-
where it was
but-
like, but my own people aren't even supporting me. These people are
get
are
you.
bigging me up.
I get you. And hip hop,
But
and
now
hip-hop
that he's-
wasn't big in the colored communities. You know, especially in Joburg, hip hop. That's why youngster. That's why youngster in Cape Town hip hop is big. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger. This side it was house music. It was kwaito. Amapiano. You understand? So logistically, we understood. AKA make money moves.
I
You get what I'm
think,
saying?
okay,
He
but
made money
in
moves.
my color, in our color community in Namibia, hip hop is like a big thing. It's like a
Who's
thing.
the biggest hip hop artist in Namibia?
No, that's not the question to ask.
No, if it's big, then
No,
it must be a
it's
big-
But
not-
I heard when AK
There
was in
must be a big
Namibia now in
artist.
December, he didn't really get support. Like his show wasn't.
You know
sold
why?
out or
Because
anything.
AKA was walking around in the mall as if he's a normal human being. And we don't care. We'll just be like, away. And we'll
Are we
walk.
talking about the show?
No, we're talking about him.
The
Like,
show
he
wasn't
made
big.
himself too available. So we just like,
No,
she's
but
another
I heard that the
artist.
show didn't pop.
Yeah, the show. No, we saw it.
I heard the
saw
show
it.
didn't pop.
I saw it. The people didn't come.
So
to
there
the show.
wasn't support there.
No, there wasn't.
You can't say that we're just broke.
Nah, don't say
Because
that.
the people that support
Don't say
AKA
that.
are students.
AKA made money
That's
moves,
all I'm
man.
saying.
AKA made money moves.
But
I
that's
ain't
what I'm
hating.
saying, bro.
I ain't
If
hating.
you a supporter, bro, you'll be there. If that ticket's
Yeah.
$100, $200
You'll go and
bucks.
support it.
Obviously, if it's now gonna be expensive, you'll be like, "I man."
Hip
bro.
hop wasn't
Somehow
big
watch
in
online.
Joburg. Yeah, hip hop wasn't big in the colored community, and AK saw that, And I have nothing against Homie featuring people in his vernacular language. Homie understood the logistics.
Check this out, bro. Juan is saying, watching Chester Williams and Benny do their thing as a child was enough for me. And that's why I asked the question, like, just him doing his thing.
Yeah.
Isn't it enough for you? Aren't you
Nah,
just
it's not
inspired
enough.
by it?
Carry on, there were the comments,
Aren't
bro.
you-
It's not enough.
It's not
dog.
enough for you,
No.
bro.
Go
He's
to the
got,
comments, bro.
No, it's not enough.
you gotta do
need
more.
to. You have a responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, but as a country as a whole, South Africa, but it's done a lot. But yeah, okay, I have a question. Veronique says, if AKA was still alive, would we be debating what he is doing for the community? If he was still alive.
I think it was a conversation.
It was a
Obviously, now that he's dead, everyone's talking about it. It's come
Of course.
up to the forefront.
Of
But it
course.
was a conversation. It was a conversation. Why doesn't he feature? That's why when he was in that track with Youngster, it was such a big thing. It was like, AKA is blowing with color. Oh, it's
Yeah.
he's starting.
And it
And
was
it's funny
awesome.
playing. It was like,
Yeah,
Joe,
it was awesome.
check it. It was a thing, bro.
It was a thing.
People were excited, bro.
It was
People
a
were
thing.
like, Joe, at least is that. Because
No,
people
but-
were asking, wait, isn't he going to do something with Youngster?
No, but when he came out, jealousy, then it decked you up. That was in Mitchell's Plain. The video was shot in Mitchell's Plain, bro.
No, but I'm saying it was.
Said about
I'm
them,
answering the question if it was a conversation. It was a conversation. That's why they were excited when he performed
Yeah.
with Youngster.
Yeah.
It was like, at least this
And
man
big ups.
is
Yeah.
he's doing something
I,
with the,
I,
with the
didn't,
other
I,
Owens.
I didn't really feel that energy in the air, though. Like,
Brother was like, if you go
I
into that
think
video and you,
Youngster was doing.
if you
Obviously,
go into that video and you check the comments, people were saying, yo, it's surprising that AK is doing something with like Youngster. Which to me, even sitting there as a fan of both, I was like, this man isn't going to start something. I was asking that question. Isn't
but
he gonna
Youngster
do
came
something
up
with
in the
Youngster?
game, bro, and that's why I was like, okay, now let's work.
But the
but-
truth is, Ali
but
B is
he's-
also quite big in the game.
But he's
bro.
not A-list on that
He's not-
level,
no, he's not
bro,
A-list
too.
on
That's
that
what I'm
level,
saying.
but he's
Who-
not small
who
either.
Who must make
But
do features
Ali
with
B-
what must he
Ali-
do, bro?
Ali B is big. It's just that the
He's not A-list though, bro. He's big. He's coming up. He's dope. I see the. I see.
But if you're gonna have that, if you're gonna have that argument, then you're gonna have to have that
What
same
Africans-
argument with JR and like these other gens that nobody really knows. There's not A-list
He's not
either.
coming up. He's there. It's just his music doesn't get played on commercial radio stations. Afrikaans hip hop doesn't get played.
And that's another
Afrikaans-
that's
Because
another
not
reason this
everybody
conversation
speaks
needs to be
Afrikaans.
held, bruh. Because
Not everybody speaks Afrikaans.
nah, but
Like when I
Not
came,
everybody speaks Zulu.
Not
No,
Not
no,
everybody
no,
speaks
listen,
Tswana.
Yeah.
But yet we support.
and you
Okay,
but
wait,
can you
but
see
listen,
his argument does hold
yeah,
because
yeah,
there is an element of marginalization.
Yes,
There. It's
I
like,
get
ah, this is a
And
color,
I'm
we're not gonna
support,
play
And
things.
I'm with that.
There is margin. Look
Yes, I
in South
agree.
Africa, we know for a fact there's
SABC1,
marginalization. of brown people.
the show we have.
We know it for a fact.
Everyone watches those shows, and it's not Afrikaans shows.
okay, maybe it's even like people's taste. Maybe like
I'm not against
Afrikaans
that,
rap
bro.
is not.
Nah,
so
bro,
good.
there's definitely marginalization towards colors in South Africa.
I agree.
There's
I'm
no,
not disagreeing.
There is no doubt on that, bro. There is no doubt that these gens struggle because they colored. There's no doubt. And I think that's Rikwa's point.
AKA made a money move.
To say that, bruh,
he understood.
you
if he's
made
going
it
to
to broke
represent his
through.
people, he will not.
Okay.
Yeah,
Here's-
here's,
Pull some of
okay,
the
here's my
my-
question. Here's my question. Which colored people at this moment is supporting Early B?
I think
The ones
Who's
down in
supporting
the
him?
northern
I think
Cape.
the ones in
Who's
Northern
not
Cape,
supporting him?
The ones in
Northern
Cape-
Cape is Cape Town is
Cape Town is-
So in general, bro, I do understand, and I'm with that.
In
but
those
we as
brown
a-
communities
we as a
and
colored
on the
people,
coast, they are
we as a
supporting.
colored people also have to get to that, bro. Where it's like, yo, let's support one another because
Yeah.
you know we
Spot
have
on.
that.
That's facts.
Spot on.
That's
We
spot
have
on.
that. Like you make
Spot
it,
on.
I'm jealous
Spot
of.
on.
it.
And that's
I'm
why
not
I
supporting
want to
you.
be excited
So-
about the homies move. It's
Spot on.
like
Exactly.
if one of our gents
Definitely.
are making something
Spot
that's of
on.
high
Spot
quality, we
on.
must support, bro.
Spot on.
Because
Check
now
it.
if I'm
This is
doing
how the
something
system
good and
works.
you're not supporting, I'm gonna
This is
feel
how the
some type of
system
way. I'm
works.
gonna be like,
This
okay.
is how the system works. The system works like this. You guys in Eldos and Annandale, if you consume people's things, that's what I'm saying. It's not about race. It's about making sure that the person next door doesn't end up being a druggie. Because if you support Zeigstem's companies, they're selling furniture. If you support in Aldos and you buy the furniture there, that means someone's child will be able to get a job and his child will get a job if you support that section. Instead of you going and taking that money somewhere else, taking it out of your community. It's so important that our money stays in our
So do
community.
you think we as brown people first need to switch on in that regard?
Yes, 100%.
Definitely.
100%.
We have to be consciously.
Before we
We
can
have
have,
to make a
before we
conscious,
can
bro.
have that
We have to
convo of
make a
like, why
conscious
aren't we on the radio? Why aren't
decision.
we this?
You see,
Why
in
aren't
apartheid,
we?
what made apartheid strong? What made apartheid strong? It's not because people were fighting or anything. It's money. It's the money. So if the products they were buying in those places in Soweto was from the white man. They bought products from the white man to sustain these people. You understand? If you take all the blacks and colors and you guys just support your own people, where do you think the Afrikaner will be?
If we just support ourselves.
Where do you think they will
But
be?
I think it's a strategic move, and
Yeah.
that's what they did in streets.
So what you're saying, apartheid was money based. You do forget that man, Hendrik Verwoerd, he was extremely smart, very smart. The way that he separated us, that's why we cannot communicate and we cannot work together. And that's why
Definitely.
colored people hate other colored people.
Definitely.
Because what makes a colored, yes,
Tribalism.
yes.
Tribalism is the kill of anything.
That's exactly what I'm saying. The same with
but
what the
that
president
that
is saying.
strengthens his point,
It's a
actually.
strategy.
But
That does strengthen his
I
point.
I got a
agree.
cue for you,
Tribalism.
bro. I got a cue.
Go for it,
Though. I
let's
got
go,
a
let's
cue. But Rico, aren't you directing and writing for a predominantly black series?
Of course. Of course.
Who asked that question?
Of course I am. Of
Lee,
course.
the ampersand Lee.
Of course. I am. Because I understand the situation. I am. And I do. That's why with the power given to me, you understand? Now I
Yeah.
get an opportunity to do what I did. I did a colored movie. You understand? Because if I wasn't in a situation, because I understand the system. That's why I said I have nothing against AKA. But understand the system. You understand?
Nah, bro.
That's-
But what? There's validity to all sides of the conversation.
That's a tricky one,
But
bro,
there is
because now you're
validity.
speaking about understanding the system. So we're saying you have to go a specific way
So,
first,
so to
get
you, for
power,
you to eat,
and then.
for you to eat,
Technically, yeah.
for you to eat.
But then why are we against AKA what he's been doing?
Now no one's
I'm
against
not
it.
against him.
He's
I'm not
saying
against- I'm saying
he's
how
feeling that he should
could've-
have used that power that he had a little bit better.
He had a bit of.
Yes.
He had a pull, and it would have made sense if he pulled someone up.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but do you guys think if you were to compare AKA now, do you think he's like set? He's like, hey, this is top dog. Like this is the guy. Like, you know how
I
let's
think
say-
it was
let's
set
say,
like 5 years ago
look,
already.
like check someone like Jay-Z who has like mass influence. Do you think like AKA had that same type of influence on his people or on different people? Because it's like someone said that it was basically self-preservation with him in the industry. So him just working with black artists, and someone said here, it's that's the market at. So if you look at, you guys are saying, okay, in order to bring other colors up, you should collaborate with colors because you already have that power. But maybe he didn't actually have that power, and that's why he was doing what he was doing.
But the truth is, he did have that power,
He did
and
have
the
the
truth
power.
is,
For the past, like,
and the
5
truth is,
He had the power.
you do hype someone up if you collab. If you're on that level and you collab with someone that nobody
people
knows,
will know.
you do pull him up. You pull him up 100%.
So basically what Nicki
If he
Minaj does.
If he collaborates with somebody
You
that
know what
nobody
she does?
knows,
I don't know
all
what
of a
she
sudden
does.
people are like, who's this gent? They go research him,
What
go
she
watch
does
his thing.
is-
So you do give them
Her music is
clout,
not being
bro.
played on the radio stations anymore. Nicki Minaj. So she collabs with other artists without payment. However, because she has a big name, it pulls them up also.
Of course.
And that's
Yes,
how she
your
also
name
gets-
does
So
hold weight.
is that what you wanted AKA to do?
Your name
Yeah.
does
In
You see what
essence.
Pinar did? You see what Pinar did? Pinar got an opportunity to play overseas. Immediately when he came back, he started these tournaments. And where did he start these tournaments?
Westbury.
You understand? So there's nothing wrong with connecting and going to a place where you can get financially stable, where you can get to a point where people recognize you. There's nothing wrong with AKA did. You understand? So once you get that opportunity, once you get that power,
There's a responsibility on
then
you too, yeah.
you look at it and you say, okay, cool. Who's down there now? Who's down there? I'm here. Like I work for a big show, predominantly a black show. Understand? I understood what I need to do to get where I am. My family is black. Half of my family is black. I don't have anything against any race, but I understand my situation where I am at. You understand? I come from a place where 50% of the youngsters are on drugs. I understand that scenario. And it's my responsibility, given the opportunity, to go back there and say, you know what? The skills I've learned, now I need to upgrade those youngsters. I need to feature them. You understand? That's why I did the movie I did.
Come through here, bro.
That's why I did the movie I did. You understand?
Yeah,
I did
I'm
a
with you.
movie. I did a movie. And I did a movie where I'm from. You understand? I used what I have now. Instead of, I could have gone and be like, yo, let me go to the Fergusons. I've got this dope idea. Let me go to the Fergusons and let's do something with, because they are powered. I had the opportunity. Let me go to another big brand. But instead I was like, no. You know what I'm saying? Let me use what the knowledge I have received and gained.
But you see,
and
the
go back
difference
to the
is that
community.
you understand.
Yeah.
He probably did not.
He did understand and he gave money. Bro, what are you gonna say?
Now, I was gonna say,
Oh,
it's not predominantly around black people at the end of the day or so. And whether we like it or not,
Now I think
our colored brothers and sisters don't support us.
Yeah.
So,
But that's the conversation we're having.
Because you said it.
you're gonna go with the people that's supporting you, bro. Of course.
Yeah, you said it. You
But
said
that's what
it.
we're saying.
He
Like, I
was
think first as a
culturally, he probably never had the opportunity.
Look, culturally, he doesn't know what's going on in the colored areas at all.
Yeah.
He didn't live there. He doesn't have friends there.
He's in privilege and advantage.
He didn't have
He's
a
not gonna
reason to
back
go there. Nothing, bruh.
Nah, but
Maybe
we
his
can't- we
father,
can't, like,
because
say we
coming from.
can't, bro. He has family in CBT, bro.
Nah,
He
but I'm
goes
saying,
down a regular, bro.
but I'm saying, as far as growing up in Aldo's or wherever Leo Western or wherever, that
but
kind
no,
of
but you can't like hold that
connection you
against
don't.
him, bro.
No,
Like,
no,
He's
no,
folks.
holding it against anyone.
Yeah.
I'm saying
Him in
that puts
Saint
him
John.
why
his
he
fight.
doesn't relate.
It wasn't his fight. It wasn't his fight. I
Exactly.
guess like what happened in Aldos, it wasn't his fight. You know what I'm saying?
But his fight was the broader South Africa, which should still.
I get the
It should be
broader.
the fight.
It's
Still
still
be the
valid.
fight, though,
It's
bro.
still valid. Okay. From my mindset at the beginning of the show to now, I understand. For me, it's always like a thing of, if I do represent my people, do I get that support back? Because
And
it
you
does
shouldn't
hurt
even
you in
care.
a certain
You
sense.
shouldn't even care where someone told me that yesterday. Someone said, I keep trying helping the people and they keep failing me. So what? So what? It happens in black communities too. So we shouldn't stop because someone has failed. We should continue trying until things change, until we die.
But then
We
you
should
get
try.
someone like Benny, bro. Comes to SA, coaches here, tries his best to change, because in the football scene and so forth
Yeah.
on. In actual fact, the country as a whole, just the corruption and so forth on. So he's like, alright, gets an opportunity, he's out.
Of course.
So now what?
There's nothing wrong with
You
it.
can't, you can't
nothing
blame
wrong
someone
with
for
it.
But, now,
doing
but
that.
that's what I'm asking.
You
So
can't.
now what? Can we point a finger at
No.
Benny? Why don't you stay here and stick it through for your people?
No ways. No
You
ways.
can't
He's
blame
living a
someone
lavish
for
life
feeling that way.
in Manchester. But that's what I'm saying. Can you blame him now? Can you point a finger? Why did you take that opportunity? Why didn't you stick it through?
Come, let's ask the question the other way. Does Casper represent these people?
Small,
No
small.
doubt.
100%. 100%.
Sometimes.
If we have to ask a question, come, let's turn the question around. Does Casper represent black people,
100%.
white people, brown people? Who does he represent in his music? What he speaks
Northwest,
about?
he's
What he
from
sings,
Northwest.
sings
It's
about?
Tswana.
Who does he represent?
Nah,
When he
mainly
shows up
people.
on stage,
Mainly.
who does Nasty
you
see?
must know they've been in their culture as well from birth.
Very long
That's
time.
what
For them it's easier.
But
They
that's the,
go-
drilled
but that's the
into
point I made in the
them.
beginning. Who does Nasty C represent? Zulu, bruh. Durban, Zulu. He represents it unequivocally so. He's
And there's
he's
nothing
not scared to
wrong with
represent
it.
it.
And there's nothing
And I think
wrong
that's
with
part
it.
of his argument is like, why do those people represent their cultures and their
But maybe
things,
because,
like,
but again,
openly
but
and
again, bro,
everyone
it comes back to
celebrates
the fact that
Thanksgiving.
we as a
Then
brown
our
people,
people, it's like-
bro, we as a brown people, we as a brown people first need to sort out ourselves, bro, because
Yeah.
maybe with them they supporting each other.
Yeah.
And they are
There's
suppo-
a
no,
some-
maybe they're
supporting each
supporting-
other.
There's this thing where we are born with where we hate each other. We just
That's one
hate
makes
colored
it
people.
somehow
We just
like yeah, the cake for.
kyk nou weer vir hom.
But I feel like that's a narrative we've
We
been
just
told.
growing
That's
up
a
like
narrative.
that.
That's a narrative we've been told.
But we need to change that.
But
narrative.
that's
We're
a
not
we
being
need to
told,
change it,
it's
bro.
it just happens.
But
Even if
we
it's
need to
even
change
there
if
is
that.
truth
subconsciously
to
it's
that narrative.
We need to change that, bro.
I've run something that was successful, and I've also had that experience, bro. Where you feel a resistance from
But
your
it will
own
change.
people.
Own people.
It will change, and it's going
But
to
you have
change.
to- you have to power
the
through.
youth, the new youth, is not standing for it. The new youth understands that it's important to make sure that the person on my right and the person on my left is sharp before I go anywhere.
Regardless of race.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or are you saying yes or no?
I'm saying the person on my right and the person on my left, where I'm from.
Regardless
So long
of
they're
if there's a
sharp,
white or living here and a black or living here.
then they must be sharp.
Let me get to some of those comments, bro.
Going for it, bro. Going for it.
It's
But
like-
listen, it's a complicated conversation, and the
It is, bro.
nature of what's happening in the
Yeah.
country
Yeah.
it's not something that came from yesterday, bro. This is
Yeah.
years of pain and hurt and suffering and marginalization and CVs being thrown in the bin and
Definitely.
being told
Hey.
y'all are substandard.
AKA
It's years of those
understand-
things, bro.
AKA understand the system, you understand how it worked,
Go for it, bro.
you know.
Where we at, broski? Yeah. Nah, keep going, bro. Keep going. Yeah, it's like asking why doesn't Jay-Z feature Casper? There isn't really colored artist that's recognized on that level. That's what Nathan says. And then Elton goes on to say maybe he just never had that connection with colored people.
Which he didn't.
Yeah.
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 Because look
Yeah.
at his obviously his background and so forth on. Then Lee goes on to say the reality is that the industry is predominantly black because there's the majority because that's the majority. And from a business perspective, it's
Yeah.
right to move to a place,
Of course,
place yourself
course.
in that circle.
but not forgetting where you come from. I guess he came from.
He didn't
He
come
was
from.
from,
Yeah, he
yeah,
didn't come
from
from.
school, yeah.
If he came from Elros, we would have had a better argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Or
I
from
agree.
Revax or somewhere.
And then we could have really
Or a Dale or
Calm
something.
down.
Then we could have said,
Yeah.
"Hey, my brother, nou je komt eens terug." So you can show just aan die park of iets
I
voor de
think the
leiders.
good part is I don't say afgestraind nie.
No, he didn't. He
I don't
didn't.
say I've
But
got
you see, what
training.
makes the conversation complicated is that when the black people do represent their cultures, and that's what makes it like they represent their cultures
they
proudly.
Because they
Because
were
they
raised
And then we
proudly
don't-
in that culture.
then we don't
They were
represent
raised
our
proudly.
culture
It's their
proudly.
tradition. It's what
And
they
that's- I
believe
think
in.
that's-
we
and-
don't have that
and
because
that's the
we are constantly
perspective.
told you don't have a culture. You don't have a say. You don't have anything.
And that's the perspective I feel
that's a
why
narrative.
why a
Guys
lot
are
of brown people
vultures.
feel like this man didn't even represent us. It's a fair feeling to
we
have,
didn't
bro.
support him.
Yeah.
We didn't
What you're saying
support
is
him,
true,
bro.
bro.
Like with me, you can go back to the Steven Pienaar tournament. Majority of the teams in the Pienaar tournament is black teams.
I saw
But
it.
there's so many colored teams out there.
So are we?
Do they work as hard as the black teams though?
Yes, they do, bro. And
Yeah,
they good
yo,
also.
Westbury.
Bro,
And they good.
you might want to come
And
on
they
the
better
mic,
than
bro.
and majority of them are better than the black teams.
No, it's the attitude then to be like, I want to, I want to
You're
learn.
not supporting it. The black team is coming from Soweto, from Tembisa, from all these areas to support the colored tournament in a colored area. But our colored teams are not doing that.
Which is an argument also. that
But at the end of the day, at the bottom line is that he went back to Westbury.
Yeah, but at the
It
end
doesn't
of the
matter
Bro,
who.
you might wanna come
it
on the
doesn't
mic, bro,
matter who-
because
it
I
doesn't
don't think
matter
the
who
people-
was there. It doesn't matter who was there. He played his part. That's the most
You
important
think you
thing.
still have it if those teams weren't coming? Because then you can go back to the AKA type of thing. He's only
Bro, you might wanna come on the mic, broski. Bro, come, just hold on one second.
Fair enough.
Just
Go
so
for it,
this
bro.
perspective.
Now go.
Now, but come on the mic, bro.
Continue
in the
the
next.
continue the things there. bro.
It doesn't matter if the industry is black, you need to represent your people. And then Juan on goes on to say, I don't know who's this rapper, bro, Ixa. He's a rapper from, Valvers Bay. He's
Walvis
probably,
Bay.
yeah.
That's in the map.
He's probably,
Wago,
that's you,
Wago?
that's you.
But where are we?
Ixa, who's IXA?
Extend.
He's probably not super popular out there. He raps in Afrikaans, but I respect how he reps Namibia,
Oh yeah.
aka reps South Africa. Just saying.
So coming back to the thing about Alibi, you're saying is not there yet. For me, the guy is there yet. You understand?
Now he's not A-list, bro. If we have to like,
He's
we
not
have to- we
A-list,
have
but
to-
he's not he's not
No, but he's not-
Maluka
but he's
either,
not
bro.
A-list.
But
he's not
But
like
not
untidy.
A-list, bro.
How do you define it? Because the guy goes gold. Ne?
He's not
the guy. Did you
A-list,
see the guy shows?
and the specific party that he's kinda
Did you see the guy
he's
shows?
kinda
The
with.
guy shows. Alibi's shows. Alibi's.
He's
shows.
not A-list, but he's not entry
No,
level.
no one's
either,
saying
bro.
it. No, I'm not
Yeah.
saying
He's
he's
not
entry
B,
level.
C
He's
list.
not A-list. He's not
B, C
A-list.
list.
He's B.
When that
he's
guy-
higher than
when
C.
that guy- when
he's
that-
close to A.
Those guys shows are like I would say probably over 6,000 people at his shows. There's this new group, and I'm not gonna.
He's not
No, bro,
untidy
I know, bro.
either.
I
bro.
respect Early B and
He's not
his hustle
untidy.
and his moves and so
Yeah.
forth. But I'm
So
just saying
Alibi
he's
is
not.
big. He's not small either.
So you're saying Mega had to do a collab with
Easily,
him?
Easily.
Did he reach out or something?
Easily.
Did he reach
You don't know
out?
what
We don't know
what
what
the
the
story was.
conversation there though. You know what I'm saying?
Go for it, bro.
broski.
Comments.
Yeah, we do. I do think we hate each other. We just don't have unity sometimes. I know places like Heidelberg. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
In the Western Cape, that community sports, they act as like Crystal, Davids, Theodore, Yankees. It's true, guys. Unfortunately, colored people are just
What's
because
a-
we're so mixed race. to a
What's the
point-
dynamic of a colors? How many colors do we have in South Africa?
Yeah.
I think we
With
second. We bigger than white.
So it's 12 million. It's the Zulus, and then I think
3.3 million.
no, we 6 million.
Mm.
We 6
In Joburg
million.
alone.
No, not in Joburg. In
In
South
South
Africa.
Africa.
Chesson goes on to say, it is time that colored people get the overdue respect and love that our people needs, and in doing so, our community will start uplifting themselves, not just music but sport and all arts.
We have to change the narrative.
That
But
is
there
on
is
us,
there
though.
is a conversation to be held as far as the colored race is concerned, especially
Yeah.
when it comes to our people who get out there and make it, like the Fanny Kerks, like the homie
Yeah.
that went to
When Van
that
Niekerk
went to
came
go
back
play
and he
now.
built a hospital.
Like that gent
You get what I'm
that's
saying?
playing in where is he playing in London now? The colored guy that left.
Oh, Foster.
Yeah, Foster.
Lyle Foster. Lyle Foster. He's he plays for Burnley.
See, so like those things, bro.
But that's
there
what I'm
is a
saying. Is
conversation
that
to be
not
had.
enough?
No,
It's not enough.
I don't believe it's enough.
When will it ever be
I don't
enough?
believe.
That's not enough.
When
So
you
it's like,
come
congrats,
back-
bro, but
No, when you come
Still
back
out here.
and pull the next person up, that's when it's enough.
And even if that comes and it's still not enough for you,
But that little-
what is enough?
bro,
No.
that
Nah,
little
that-
that little
that's enough.
seed is
That's enough
to come back and help.
to come
the
back
the
and
problem
push.
I
Like
have
Steven
with this
Pienaar-
conversation
like
is
Steven
that you guys
Pienaar-
want more and more and
Steven
more and
Pienaar,
more and more.
if you can't now, you see, you can't blame Steven Pienaar for doing what he did because he did come back,
Yeah.
and he did come to the casting, and he did
And
do
I-
a thing,
and I commend it.
and now you're saying
I
that's
commend
alright.
it.
You if
I
a black
commend
people
it.
came,
I commend it.
Who did he yell?
who did he help?
he helped more black people.
A couple of youngsters. I know a couple of youngsters.
Okay,
That is even. that is-
who's
I don't
who's
know.
playing on that level?
don't know
He's
any
he's
young
big respect in Everton as well,
Yeah.
bro. But who's playing on that level?
Say it, Everton, if you want.
Now I'm saying the point he's making is he came back to the casting and did something
And-
there,
and what I-
regardless of
and
what
what I
happened.
To
know.
do what,
And
bro?
I do know. And I do
So
know.
you have a tournament
And I
there.
do know he's mentoring a couple of boys in Westbury. I know he's mentoring and trying to get them some deals overseas and all that. That's what I
We
do
will.
know.
Time will tell.
That's what I do
Time will
know.
tell for now,
He's-
bro.
he's-
Time will
he's-
tell.
he's
But
intentionally-
he's been there,
he's
bro. He's been
intentionally-
retired now. For
I think
what,
he's
like
talking
over
about
10
his
years or
intention,
so?
the fact that he's actually
intentionally
making moves
He's
towards it.
intentionally going back to where he comes from. He's intentionally
And
looking.
Benny?
I don't know much about.
Look,
that.
I know Benny went to Cape Town and he was coaching a Cape Town team.
Yeah.
So I think his mindset is also to help his
Then again,
his
I
place.
can't compare the two because, like you said from the start, he was born in that structure.
Yeah.
That's the big
Facts.
thing about AK because that's was the last week's question. Why doesn't he doesn't have colored friends? He didn't date colored girls.
He doesn't want to. It's his preference.
No, it's not that he doesn't want to. It's back to he was never born there. Well, he was
Yeah.
born in Cape Town, but he didn't live there. He didn't go to school there, so he doesn't know.
So if I was in a black school, right, and I go date,
And you have black friends.
and I just have black friends,
Then you be
does it
like,
automatically just make me feel like it's because I don't know white people, that's why I won't
That's a
date white
different-
people?
that's a
Is that your
different
argument?
conversation, that
Oh, colored people.
Love, finding love is a different conversation. it's totally different. That's when I go.
nah. I'm saying you didn't date even a colored girl.
He doesn't want to know. It's his preference.
There's
He's
a
not
sad,
comfortable with
there's,
colors.
there's a sad reality amongst our people that we want representation, but we are notorious for not supporting each
Amen.
other again.
I agree
Our
with
people vibe with Amapiano and not hip hop.
I agree with that. I agree with that. You know, when we were starting doing Afrikaans hip hop and we try to get it in the hood, people would laugh at it. People would be like, "What's Z?" You understand? What's Z? But once we put our music in Cape Town, people were like, "Yo," getting excited about it. And funny enough, my first music was played on YFM. Was played on a black station. You get what I'm saying? But even though it was played on a black station, I still made sure that the youngsters that needs to come out, I'm still going to feature them. I'm still going to even help them however I can help them to continue
Yeah.
recording their music.
I think as a colored community, we all just need to go for counseling.
Agreed.
Joanne always says.
Agreed.
Let's start there.
Agreed.
Let's start there, bro. Nah, big facts, broski.
Is that all the comments?
Casper represents his people because they support him, like we
Yeah.
were saying. And then Joanne goes on to say,
of
I don't
course.
think we hate each other now. We don't, bro. We just don't have unity sometimes. I know
Most
places.
times we don't have unity most times.
It's changing.
More
dog.
of more
It's
often
gonna
than we
change.
do.
It's gonna change.
I know places like Heidelberg in the Western Cape, that community supports the actors like Crystal Davids,
Yeah.
Theodore Yankees.
Agree.
Cape Town is starting to get that
Agree.
right, bro.
Agree.
When someone makes it in Cape Town,
These
the people support him, bro.
Yeah.
Like youngster, that Cape Flats and those are the ones they support youngster.
But
bro.
even
They
the
vibe
theater
with
world, the theater world is crazy. You must know these guys have shows like 7-day shows, and their arenas is sold out. You get what I'm saying? They can have shows like
and it's colored people that are supporting.
yeah, 100%.
And it's giving them muscle. There's
100%.
validity to what us man is saying.
100%.
There is
Look
validity
at the
to what
shows.
he's
Look at the because the support is so strong in Cape Town. Look at the shows that's coming out of CakeNet. Those we have Saint Oosters, we have Arends Valley, there's a couple of shows. It shows that the narrative is changing.
Which is a beautiful thing, bro.
Of course.
Yeah,
I'm
which
all
is
for it.
which is
It's a
something we
beautiful
want.
thing.
Go for it, bro.
Same with Joe Barber. People are
Joe Barber, look how great, and they're coming to Joe Barber. People must come out and support those guys. Those guys shows were sold out. 7 shows, 7 days. They had shows every day. It was sold out, and they put early B on there.
okay. Let me first go for Elton's comment before I go for Veronique. It's not about the support, it's about the connection and giving back, making a difference. Peanut played for Everton. Not a lot of people support that team,
Amen.
but he gives back.
Amen. Amen. That's what I'm talking about. Amen. I rest my case.
But still, bro. But still.
Go for it, bro.
Come
And
on,
then Nikki
let's
says,
go.
Rico, when you make it big, what is your plan for the colored community?
You'll find out in how long,
Ah, you must state it so we
How
can
long?
come back to this video and be like, listen, you said
Probably in the
this,
next
this,
month
and
or
this.
two. Now Rico was already on that. Look, the one thing that you must know about Rico, bro, he's like strong about supporting his people, bro. Which is how it should be, bro. Casper makes no excuses about supporting his people, bro. KO makes no excuses. These guys make no excuses, bro. They go to the kasi, they shoot their videos in the kasi, they help their lighties, they go
it's
and start
important. And
schemes
there's
and
nothing
things.
wrong
They
with
make
that.
no excuses, bro. So we shouldn't feel.
but I can guarantee
we shouldn't
you, bro,
feel
from
like.
what you-
Man.
Let's
Let's not say that.
Did AKA make
They,
excuses?
they support their people, bro. And AKA, I know for a fact he gave money to that thing.
Yeah.
And I know he supported things in the brown community. I know for a fact he supported it.
Exactly.
Not publicly on that level, but I do know that he did support it. 100% I know that. So it's a tough conversation to have, bro, in the climate we're living in because these things are happening, bro. And we're seeing it especially even in the football world. You see, like, that's why the colored lights
You know
go play
why?
overseas.
You know why it could feel tough? It's because it's not been spoken out a lot, and us speaking Afrikaans could feel like, you know what I'm saying? It's because it's not popularized. You know, when the majority speaks it, when they speak Zulu or whatever, it's comforting.
It's widely
because
accepted.
it's easy. You receive it easily. You understand? But if you have to communicate how you want to communicate and say, I want to support my people, it's like, why you want to support them? You know what I'm saying? It's because it's not new. So when something it's
because it is new.
you know, because it's not in the majority, you know, probably feels uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Or maybe it's just a thing of when people hear Afrikaans, they automatically think white and oppress and apartheid. Could also just be that.
Bro, this is a conversation we won't find a solution to quickly. But there is a
But the
reality.
counseling is different.
There's a reality of what, even like I was saying in the soccer world also. That's why a lot of the colored guys go play in London and what. And I know that for a fact. I know a lot of people that did that, including my own family, that would rather go play somewhere because they're marginalized here. And they get told straight, now you can't get in here, you can't get in here. So there is an element of being marginalized. Greatly so. And I think that's where that passion comes from, where it's a matter of, if one of the ones are making it, then bro, don't leave us swag now. You now here. Say something, do something, help a brother out. Or not to say, come give me opportunities and I don't deserve. Now you must
Fair.
obviously deserve those
But
opportunities.
also, bro, the system is like, it's so hectic here in SA, bro. When it comes to like gatekeepers, and that's why
And the
that's why-
gatekeepers
that's why-
and the
that's
thing is,
why
bro, we can't
Benny-
run away from the fact that it's racially motivated.
That's why
majority
Benny
of the
also
things
was
are
like, yo,
racially driven.
I
That's
tried.
why the Owens say, nah, let me rather go play somewhere else. or let me rather go here, let me rather
Coach
do
there and
that.
so
Because
forth.
there's a racial element to it, bro. There's definitely a racial element to it. As much as we don't like it and we don't want to confront it, and it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, it's the reality of the matter, bro.
Yeah,
It
and
is
just
the
remember,
reality.
um,
It shouldn't be that way, and nobody wants it to be that way.
and just
But it
remember
happens.
where you come from. If you don't invest where you come from, it's going to affect your kids. That's it. It's not even about anything else. It's going to affect the future generation of your kids. So whether you like it or not and say, no, I'm not like this, I'm not like that, I listen to this music, I listen to that music. That person's music you support, you're giving him an opportunity to support his family. So it's either you're going to make sure that your kids will also eat or not. Or someone else kids will eat. That's how it is. You understand? You know, if Zake's dad says, no, you know what, it's going to be commercially better if I get someone from Soweto to come and preach or take over. What is he doing? He's blocking his kids. Am I right? And it's not even a racial thing. It's literally just a fair. It's like you need to make sure his kid, if his dad gives the church over, if your father passed away now and he gives the church over to you, why must it be a eina? Hoe kom het a eina is? It's supposed to be like that. You understand? It's supposed to be like that. We can't how, there's people. No, it's commercially sense. It won't make sense. Let's get someone that can. No.
Hi, bro. It was a difficult conversation.
Yeah, bro.
But a necessary
An important one.
And it's not done, that conversation. That conversation I don't think is going to get done anytime soon. But I think it is important that we do support each other, bro, especially as brown
We
people.
have to.
Look, we support everyone. South Africans at the end
Yeah.
of the day, we want everyone to be
And there's
happy and
nothing wrong
everyone
with
to work. Like he's saying, he works for a company that's majority black, and he understands that. But I think it is important that at some point we also want to help the guys that you can see is in need. You don't have to allow it to be successful, start hustling on the come up, and then you give somebody else an opportunity while you see, like what he's saying, your neighbor has the qualification, they have what it takes, they're doing well, they don't have the money, so they're shooting on their phone or something. It's in your best interest to say, that's like this is good.
Yeah,
Let
it's
me,
my
let
responsibility.
me bring him with me, let me take him on set with me, let me go show him how those things operate. That's your first stop, that should be your first stop. And
You
it
can't turn a
makes
blind
sense.
eye to that.
And it makes sense. And it makes sense for
Facts.
everyone. In the black community, if you are supporting your people and you're building schools and you're doing things, it makes sense.
Makes sense.
That's how it should
And
be.
the Afrikaners, if they build their schools and they want it a certain way, school with them.
We can't
Big ups to
be
them.
angry with him.
Big ups to them. Why do we want to force ourselves into something that they did? They built it. We didn't build it.
So it's a difficult conversation to have, especially in South Africa where racism is still so strong.
Sensitive.
And it's a sensitive conversation. But yeah, but I think the more we have these conversations, the
The
more we
better we
start
get.
getting to
Yeah.
answers and being having different opinions is also good.
It's also
You
cool.
must have the conversation.
We don't
Doesn't
have to
mean you
agree
don't
to-
like me
yeah.
or whatever. No,
No.
bro, let's have the conversation.
Yeah.
Not scared to have the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it from us. We went well over our time. But thank you so much for watching. Quick remarks, closing quickly. We did go over time, so just quickly, 1, 2, and then out.
Like Jay says, don't hate. Don't hate, just love.
Facts.
Yeah, AKA man. Continue praying for the family. We love them, we support them, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, and to any artists, colored artists that's coming out there, man, let's support, let's wherever we can, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep building. And yeah, peace and love to everyone, man. Thanks.
That was a good one, bro. Thank you so much to all the viewers. Appreciate the love, the support. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're on every day of the week. It's been great, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it from us. See you on the next one. Love you. Goodbye.
Peace.
Gentlemen, welcome to it.
Good morning to the folks. What up to the youngins and bless up to the world.
And then Jay just put your info on blast like that.
It's what the people want to know, bro. My bad.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.